Hello, good afternoon.
Yeah,
Please,
good afternoon.
if you can hear me, can you just type on it? Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Okay, thank you so much for joining P4PETalks today. Apologies for starting a bit late. So today we are going to be going through a topic which we are going to be talking about soon. Because P4PETalks is developing professional individuals and teams using expert insights that are appropriate for personal development, business growth, and career advancement. So this is why P4PETalks was actually set up, and this platform is being powered by P4P.co, which is P4P Institute. Who are we? We are providing cutting-edge solutions. We bring professionals and business discipline. We also and standard and rigors to HR practice and function. We are a Nigerian company with global outlook. We deliver superior people, clients, and shareholders. And our brand, what is our brand? P4P Institute, which is our learning and development area where we actually bring people in to teach them on different skills and areas and also bridge a gap. We also have our SME Academy. SME Academy is a growing smart business for people that are just starting a business or people that are actually in business but are having some challenges in their business. We have a Let's Read book club. This also allows you to read a book in a short while rather than reading a full book. You have a summary of that book and read it in 15 minutes and also understand what that book is talking about. We also have our professional on demand, which is Podlancer. Podlancer is a platform where different professionals meet, and there is freelancer and the rest. You have a work done through that online. We have our leadership development initiative. We have our smart startup. We have our HR outlook conferences. We also have my pro services and many others. And all these are our brands. Our main site, if you want to go through all this and check them, is go through P4PE.co. You'll be able to go through all these websites. What's our solutions? What do we offer? We offer HR solutions, career solutions, business solutions, entrepreneurship solutions, talent management solutions, and training programs, just like the one you're actually about to attend now. Is all these are what we offer. And for you to get more information, you visit our P4PE.co, which is our online and websites. So today, my name is Gloria Omude, and I'm going to be your host for today's session. And I am working currently with P4P Institute as the head of L&D, which is Learning and Development. So I'm going to be hosting this today as you join me and just be relaxed. So what are we going to be talking on today? Our topic today is no other but sales. Sales enablement. We know that because of the pandemic and the COVID and a lot of that, the economic breakdown, there've been a lot of challenges in sales. We've been having difficulties in how to reach out to the clients, to our clients and customers, and how to get them to buy. So this sales enablement is going to be talking on how sales can actually work proper in using different strategies. And we have some protocols that we need to follow. Our session protocol is please kindly mute your audio and turn off your video. Also, you may speak on the facilitator's invitation. If you have any question or comment, you should type it in the comment section. The facilitator will reach out and read your questions and answer it immediately. Our facilitator today is no other than Shegu Banjo. Okay, so who is Segu Banjo? Segu Banjo is a business development expertise, business startup coach, certified digital marketer, certified business evaluator. He has had over 8 years experience in financial sector, Nigeria, spanning through diverse functions such as projects, program management, business, entrepreneurship, youth development, incubation stroke consultancies and research work. He has trained and consulted for more than 15,000 businesses owners, aspiring entrepreneurs, students, etc., and also for several organizations such as Google, Facebook, NAFDAC, LASU, and LASUCOM. He is also a certified trainer, a digital skills for Africa, sponsored by Google, that seek to train, empower, and list of 50,000 small and medium businesses owners in Nigeria. So I am going to put you on to Mr. Femi Banjo as he takes us through our sales enablement. Please, Mr. Femi, over to you, sir. You can share your slides.
All right. Yeah, thank you so much, Chloe. Thank you. All right. All right, thank you, everybody. Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. Once again, my name is Segu Banjo, and I'll be the facilitator for today's class. And please, if you can hear me, can you signify by raising up your hand? The button is on your screen. Just click on it by raising up your hand. If you can hear me, please signify by using the button, raise hand button. Can we do that very fast? Raise hand button. Okay, good. Thank you, Babs. Thank you, Gechi. Okay, fine. I think we're good to go. All right. Thank you. All right. Once again, the topic we'll be looking at is sales excellence enablement training, and brought to you by P4P Institute. So let's look at the session objective for this particular session. By the end of this session, participants should be able to, number one, explain sales management. Two, list and identify professional selling skills. Thirdly, learn how to maintain a state of sales excellence. Fourthly, list principles of creating a culture of sales excellence. While the last one is stages of negotiation. And I think somebody actually requested for the stages of negotiations, especially. So we had to consider it. So what is sales management? Let's start by looking at sales management. Sales management is a process of, of developing a sales force, coordinating sales operations, and implementing sales techniques that allow a business to consistently hit and even surpass its sales targets. If your business brings in any revenue at all, a sales management strategy is an absolute must. So if you are a business owner, you know that nothing happens until a sales is done, until a sales is made. So sales management is the process of developing a sales force. You know, most of all these multinational, most of them, they have a sales force. So, and what we're looking at in this session is how to coordinate the sales force. All right, let's go back again. Okay, so this will give you an understanding of how your company's sales process is being managed, allowing you to become more in sync with your team, create a better relationship with your manager, and achieve better sales results yourself. So overall, sales management will help businesses and their workers better understand results, predict future performance, and develop a sense of control by covering the following three aspects. All right, so let's look at the three aspects now. So number one is, there are three key aspects of sales management. So the first one is sales operations, while the second one is sales strategy. The last one is sales analysis. So we'll be looking at these one after the other. And I believe that you are with your pen, you are actually writing. And if you want to ask any question, just go to the Q&A and put your question there. We'll provide answers to your question. And if you want to make any comment, please let's make use of the chat room for our comments. So now we are looking at sales management. You want to manage, in other words, you want to manage your sales. So firstly, sales operations, building the team. What do you mean by building the team? Especially, let's look at the bank, for instance. Now, they always have this sales team, and they go through rigorous training. So this may not be a total shocker, but the sales team is the backbone of the company. They are the direct connection between the product and the customer. So, there have been a lot of issues whereby the management is saying something else, while the sales team that are interfacing with the customer, they are saying something else. So, there's always this clash between the management and also with this, with the sales team. So, the sales team, we need to understand that the sales team, they're actually the backbone of any company, because without sales, nothing has been done. You can actually have a good structure, you can have everything, you can have a good product, but if you don't know how to sell, if there's no good sales team, it's just about wasting time. So now, I think some few years ago, I was in a sales team whereby, the name is Alpha Team. Alpha Team, we're just 7, but believe me, it was a fantastic team. So you two can come up with a name for a particular sales team. You can say this is Alpha Team. Then there'll be a sales manager. Possibly the sales manager's name is Poju. Why the team lead? Do you understand? Is John, and they actually have members. The Teme, the Angela, the Ushe, the Abdul. All these guys are the member of this particular sales team. So this particular sales team, they need to go through trainings. They need to understand the company's structure, the company's vision. They need to understand and buy into it. And they need to understand the product they're actually going out there to sell. And they need to understand their target market. Who are they going to meet out there? So they can actually achieve this by going through rigorous training. All right, the second one is sales strategy. The first one that we're supposed to do is to develop a team. Yeah, is to develop a team that is, it is a team that, they'll be the one in charge of the operations and the like. So, you develop an organogram and you recruit your team. So the second one is sales strategy. Once you have the team and you know your target, yes, you might be wondering, how do you actually carry out the sales? Every business has a sales cycle, which is a series of tasks that help a company's product reach its users. Therefore, having a sales pipeline or sales funnel will make that easier to maneuver these deals to completion. For instance, now, most of us that we are in this training right now, we possibly saw it online, or possibly somebody sent it to us. So by filling our details, by submitting, we have where we can actually make payment. That is a sales funnel. That is a sales funnel. So that's like an online sales funnel. Do you get what we're actually saying now? So you actually understand your sales funnel. We call it conversion. So having a good sales pipeline, it will help you to convert. To help your conversion processes. So let me say this again. Every business has a sales cycle. You must understand your sales cycle. How does it flow? Is it that is flowing possibly, from your adverts? What do you do from your advert? They fill a form. After filling the form, what do you do? Is it that you call them later, or is it that you make them take action? We call it CTA. That is a call to action. You make them take action. Do you get? So by completing the sales cycle. All right. So why the third one we're looking at is sales analysis, that is reporting. Reporting is what allows you to understand how your current efforts affect your company's success and gives you insight into what you can do to increase your efforts, whether it's hiring more salespeople or maybe redistributing tasks. So we said the first one is what is sales operations. So the second one is what sales strategy. The last one is what sales analysis. Please, can we go to the chat room and just type of what the 3 key aspects of sales management? Can we do that fast in the chat room for me to know that you are following? Okay, I'm typing in the chat room now. I want you all to, to list the 3. Okay, fine. Thank you, Babs. The 3 aspects of Sales management. Okay. All right. Thank you. Okay. Because the purpose of this class is for everyone to be carried along. So thank you. Bob said sales operations. Damilare just said sales analysis. Okay. Kel says sales analysis. Apan says sales analysis. Okay. Thank you. All right, okay, patience actually says sales operations, sales strategy, sales analysis. All right, thank you. All right, for analysis, reporting is what allows you to understand how your current effort affect your company's success and gives you insight. You know, it will help you to make decision because decision is actually very important. It will help you make decision and be able to understand if you're actually hitting your target or not. All right, okay, thank you. If you have any question, don't hesitate to go to the Q&A and ask your question. They will provide answers to them. Okay, if you can still hear me, please. Okay, so please, if you can still hear me, can you just click on the raise hand button for me to know that that we also, okay, thank you, Damilare Joe. Who else can still hear me? All right, okay, thank you guys, thank you, we're still together. So the next thing we're looking at is professional selling skills, professional selling skills. All right, so we're looking at professional selling skills. So we've been able to highlight, you know, list some professional selling skills whereby you could actually use, you know, to sell. So number one is findability skill. Okay, to succeed greatly in sales, you must spend more time with people who are better prospects. You know, we say that we have prospects and we have suspects. You know, a prospect is a customer that you're trying, you know, to sell to, that, you know, that you're trying to sell to, that is just within 6 months. But if the prospect, as you know, is more than, if you are prospecting and you know, the prospect is more than 6 months, the person has turned to a suspect. Not, you know, the person is no more a prospect. The person has turned to a suspect, and it's been wise that, you know, you focus your attention, your energy on prospect. Somebody that you know that, okay, fine, this person would be likely buy from you. So you must prospect and look for new business 80% of time. Yes, yes. You must prospect and look for new business 80% of time. All right, you must be prospecting morning, noon, and night. You must never relax in your prospecting effort until you have so many customers that you don't have enough time left in the day to sell and satisfy all the people who want to buy from you. Because the idea is you must be able to have at least, maybe you have maybe like 200 prospects and you keep prospecting because the analysis is from the 200 prospects, at least 10 would actually buy from you. But if you are prospecting 10, there's a possibility that one would only buy from you. But if you have like 100 prospects, at least 10 could actually buy from you. If you increase them to like 150, 15 could actually buy from you. If you increase them to like 20 prospects, 200 prospects, 20 could actually buy from you. So the idea is to get more prospects. Yes, get more prospects. Spend your time, you know, getting prospects that could actually buy from you. So that is a findability skill. So you need to understand, then how do you find these prospects? Where are they? You know, their demography, their psychography, then what interests them. So you need to look at all of this, you know, and what the value that your product or service would actually add to them. So the second one, you know, the second skill, apart from the findability that we talked about, is excellent relationship skill. All right. So the second skill for success, for sales success, is the habit of focusing on the relationship before anything else. Yes, yes. When we're talking about focusing on the relationship, we're talking about the emotion aspect, because connect to people emotionally. So you should focus on establishing rapport, trust, and credibility with each prospect from the first contact. So you don't just meet people and say bye, bye, bye. Yes, you don't just go meet people and say bye, but connect with them emotionally, connect with them, gain the trust, rapport with them, know their concerns before introducing anything to them. So the most successful salespeople take as much time as necessary to establish trust with their clients. Yes, that is the first thing. There's this particular client that we've been working together now for a while. And the most surprising thing is possibly because the client is actually a satisfied client. If this man needs anything that doesn't relate to what I do, he will ask me to recommend. Why? Because over time, I've been able to do what? To build trust. I've been able to build relationship. Do you understand? So it is not just about selling, it is about building excellent relationship skill. You have built excellent relationship skill. So they ask good question and listen closely to the answer. They seek to understand the customer situation and needs before they make any attempt to talk about their product or service. Yes, because if you're just concerned about your product, the customer will sense that that you are being selfish. Everything is just about you just want to sell, you just want to make money from the client or maybe from the customer. So the rule is this: if the customer likes and trusts you, the details won't get in the way of the sale. If the prospect, however, is neutral towards you or even worse, negative, the detail will trip you up every step of the way. So you need to understand that relationship is key, and you need to build that skill. You need to build the excellent relationship skills. All right. The third one is identifying needs clearly. Identify needs clearly. The third skill of top salespeople is that they make a habit of asking questions and identifying the real needs of the prospects. There was this training. There was this training that we organized, some times ago, and this particular man was servicing banks, banks. So, and it got to a time that the MD of this bank called the man and said they are trying to, to build a particular product that, if possible, that the man should advise him. Do you understand? Because this is the man's, what's it called? This is his own industry. You understand, the IT part very well. But he told the bank man, he told the bank MD that if they should go into this type of technology, that it won't take a while, that it will fizzle out, that they shouldn't do that particular technology, even though they will make money from that particular technology. But he told the manager, as the MD, that he shouldn't go, he shouldn't invest into it, that he shouldn't go with that particular product. Do you understand? What has the man done? He was able to identify the needs and advise appropriately. Do you get? So that is number one. Before a bank MD could actually call, one of their vendors and ask questions, that means he's been able to build relationship. So the next one is he identified the guys and advised him that even though we sell this, but don't go into this because this particular product will soon fizzle out. All right. So, and this is the reason prospects often say things like, I'm not interested, or I can't afford it, or we are quite happy with our existing situation or supplier. The more question you ask about the customer situation and the more you link your product to those needs, the more open the customers become to learning about your products and service and eventually buying from you. Do you understand? So you need to understand this, and you need to carefully identify the needs of the customer and advise appropriately. Even though the customer is saying, I'm not interested, continue to, to talk about, your product, unique selling proposition, propose it and clearly. All right. So the fourth one we're looking at, present persuasively. So as a sales people, you need to develop the habit of making excellent, logical, well thought out presentation of the features and benefits of the product. And let me throw in this after every presentation, because selling is all about psychology. After every presentation, then when you have done your call to action, always keep quiet at that particular time whereby you've done your call to action. Possibly you're saying, okay, fine. How many do you want? Or when should we supply you? After that, try and keep quiet, because most times, according to psychology of selling, anybody that talks first loses. So after presenting your call to action, at the end of your presentation, always keep quiet, because the psychology of selling says that anybody that talks first loses. So definitely, if your customer talks first, that means he's going to buy from you. But if you talk first, that means you're going to lose that particular customer. So at the end of every presentation, always keep quiet. If your customer is quiet, you to keep quiet, because at that time it is a decision time. So it is not that time that You are supposed to now be saying, this is our product. Just keep quiet at a particular time, because the psychology of selling says that anybody that talks first loses. Do you get? Okay, so if you've been able to identify the prospect and who can benefit from what you sell, establish a comfortable level of trust and rapport, and identify their needs clearly. The presentation is where you show your customer why it makes excellent sense for them to act on your recommendations. Do you understand? So present persuasively. So don't let it be about you just want to sell. Connect with the person, and you'll be able to persuade the customer to buy from you. So the fifth is answer objections effectively. So develop the habit of answering objections and resolving concerns in a confident, competent manner. So you do not you do this by thinking through all the objections that are qualified, that a qualified prospect might make, then develop logical, complete answers to each of these objections. So you are prepared if and when they come up, and when they come up. So the very best sales professional have developed completely clear bulletproof answers. Yes, yes. And you need to answer questions objectively, because a lot of questions could actually come from your customers or from your prospects. So you need to get ready. By getting ready, you need to understand your product very well. And you need to buy into your company's vision and mission. That is why most companies at the end of the year, most time, maybe like some do it like every quarter, some like twice in a year, some even yearly, whereby they make sure that they take their, their staff through trainings, in-house trainings, for them to understand the purpose of the company, for them to understand the, the company structure, the company strategy, the mission, the vision. Because without that, there's no how you go out there and be able to sell. So the sixth is ask for the decision. So in developing the habit of asking the question, the customer to make a buying decision, yes, this is where the call to action is, you are talking about. So your job is to move quickly and professionally through that stressful moment by asking for the order in a confident, professional manner, and then wrapping up the sale. So at the end of the presentation, if there's no call to action, it's just about wasting time. So always do a call to action. I made an example about this particular training that we are attending. So at the end of it, there's a decision. You need to make a decision. The decision is what? Is to make payment for you to attend this training. That is what a sales circle. There's a sales pipeline. There's a sales funnel. So you need to do the same thing and do your call to action, whereby your customer will be able to make the buying decision. All right. Okay. So the next thing that we'll be looking at is creating a culture of sales excellence. But before I move further, can we just list part of our professional selling skill for us? I've been able to list 7, so let's list them one after the other. Let's come to the chat room and list all the 7 professional selling skills that we've discussed. So I'll be able to know that you're following. Can we list the 7 professional selling skills that we've been able to discuss? Findability skill. Thank you, Song. Thank you. All right. All right. Let's go ahead, please. I'm waiting. All right. Present persuasively. Thank you so much, Babs. Excellent relationship skills. Thank you, Song. Thank you. Okay. Identify needs clearly. Patience. Ogechi. Identify the needs of customers. Thank you. Dr. B, is it that you can't hear 18 or you can hear 18? Okay. You can type again, sir. All right. So identify needs clearly. Answer objections effectively. Thank you, Patience, for that. Okay. Present persuasively. Present. Thank you, Theophilus. All right. Okay. Ask for the decision. Patience. Yes. Thank you. All right. I think we can go back to the session. Thank you. This shows that you're actually following. All right. So let's look at creating a culture of sales excellence. Yeah. So let's start with what is sales excellence? Sales excellence is defined as the consistent outperformance of key growth objectives achieved by strategic cross-functional initiative. These initiatives are key input of your revenue engine. Yes, your training tools, enablement, and culture. Together, this factor creates an environment that builds and supports high-performing sellers, thus delivering sales excellence. So, and let's look at this. This initiative are key input of your revenue engine. That is number one, the training. Two, the tools. Third one, the enablement. And the last one is what? The culture. Because by the time that your possibly maybe your team have actually undergone good training, they have the tools to work with, they have the enablement, and there's a wrong culture. So the culture is going to eat up the strategy. So you need to understand that and pay more attention to the culture of your organization. Together, this factor create an environment that builds and supports high-performing sellers, thus delivering sales excellence. Yes, sales excellence. That is why sales excellence is defined as the consistent outperformance of key growth objective achieved by strategic cross-functional initiative. So there are lots of sales initiatives. So after building your team, the next thing to do is to come up with sales strategy. And your team should be able to buy into your sales strategy. There are times whereby your team could actually have better initiative than what the company is actually proposing. So you need to be flexible and not rigid when it comes to coming up with initiative. We've seen a lot of times whereby because it is those that are going out there, that is your salespeople that are actually interfacing with the customer. They're actually interfacing with the customer. You know, they can actually see what the customer wants, what the market wants. So they can come up with initiative. But if the culture doesn't allow them to be able to talk, to be able to initiate, or maybe to be able to come up with initiative, you know, they will just be rolling. You know, there won't be much progress. But you give your salespeople the opportunity for them to come up with initiative, have a good culture, you know, for growth in your organization. So how you develop each factor is dependent on your business, the industry, and the goals. Your version of excellence might vary from that of your peers and even your competitors. However, there are shared methods of measuring out your output to determine whether or not you've achieved sales excellence. So your sales excellence basically depends on on the company's culture, and that is why you need to work on the company's culture and make sure that the salespeople, they actually go through the trainings, they have the tools, they have the enablement, and the office and the company is also flexible, to accommodate a lot of initiative. Okay, Dr. Ben is saying, please, there is no sound. I think this should be coming from you. I think most people can actually hear me. Please, can you check your audio?
You can continue the class.
Okay, okay. All right, okay. All right, maintaining a state of sales excellence. Number one, it begins in your mind. Yes, it begins in your mind. Recognize and understand the nature of your sales, of your self-concept, and its relationship to your sales performance. Your self-concept is the bundle of beliefs that you have about yourself. So it is the way you see yourself and think about yourself in every area of your life. So your expectations are pivotal because research actually shows that you cannot earn more than 10% above or below what you expect to earn, So to increase your sales, expand your self-concept to accommodate an exception of reaching higher sales goal. So what this is actually talking about is everything starts from you. And if you actually believe that you can sell in billions, definitely it will actually come to pass. But if you see yourself that no, I just want to stay with the millions, maybe like 1 million, 1 million is even too much. I can just sell 100,000. Believe me, you only sell that 100,000. There was a time whereby we asked that we should write the amount that I would like to make in a year. So, and a friend of mine wrote for 50 million, another person wrote 100 million, somebody wrote 500,000. And believe me, it is mindset. That is your self-concept. The person that wrote 500,000 would not end maybe a little above that 500,000. But somebody that wrote 50 million could actually earn maybe like 25 million, maybe like close to that 50 million, or even more. Because everything starts with your mind. Can your mind conceive it? So, because the point is, apart from getting the team, what is their self-concept? Do they see themselves as people whereby they can't even sell maybe maybe a 1 million product? Do you understand? If their self concept is saying that they cannot sell it, whereby they themselves, they don't believe in themselves that they can sell it, you just be wasting your time with such thing. I've seen salespeople whereby they are selling pots. The salad master guys, we've actually had some training with them in the past. They'll sell pots for 1.5 million, and people buy it. Because the point is, identify your customers. Who can buy, who can afford this? At the end of the day, the unique selling proposition, propose it. As in, it happens whereby they would enter houses and they will come out with the cash, whereby somebody actually bought. Because everything starts from within. You believe that you can actually sell this pot for 1.5 million, and you go about and sell it. But if you don't believe that you can sell that pot for 1.5 million, you just be entering house. Me too, I said it now. They will not buy it. They will not buy it. Do you understand? So self-concept, is the boundary of your belief that, okay, can I actually do this or not? So you need to maintain. So we'll talk about maintaining a state of sales excellence. So it begins in your mind. It begins in your mind. So first, recognize and understand the nature of your self-concept and its relationship to your sales performance. Your self-concept is the boundary of belief that you have about yourself. It is the way you see yourself and think about yourself in every area of your life. Some of us, could actually have the self-concept whereby I can actually become a billionaire in dollars, and have, a flick of jet, whatever. Some people, their self-concept cannot contain it. Jets, me, jets, how will I? Do you understand? So for such people, that is who they are. So you need to understand, when you're building a team, what is their self-concept? And if you're a salesperson too, what is your self-concept? You need to expand your self-concept, because maintaining a state of sales excellence begins in your mind. If you can contain it, definitely you can get it. So the next one is sales impediment. The two primary obstacles to making sales are the fear of failure and the fear of rejection. Rejection is an inevitable part of sales, yes. To cope with it, first, increase your self-esteem and self-concept. And second, realize that sales rejection that is not personal. Somebody didn't buy from you, or maybe somebody asked you to just go. You don't have to take it personal. Do you understand? As a salesperson. So this actually the impediment, the fear of failure and the fear of rejection. As a salesperson, you must embrace, failure. Definitely, it's not everybody that will buy from you, and it's not everybody that will accept you. Even though if you have the best product in the world, people will still reject you. So you need to understand these two parts and develop a good self-esteem and self-concept, and realize that rejection or failure, it doesn't have to be personal. You could actually learn from, especially failure, and use it as a stepping stone. Why the third one is goal setting. Set annual, monthly, weekly, and daily sales goals. So, and I've seen a lot of my friends whereby they work, possibly in the insurance or possibly maybe in banks, they have targets per month, and it's their own obligation to do what to meet their targets. So you to set, if it is daily targets, daily sales targets, a weekly sales target, monthly sales targets, quarterly sales targets, yearly sales targets. Then determine the activities you must undertake to achieve these goals. Commit your goals to paper, to implant them in your subconscious mind. Create a clear mental picture of yourself achieving these goals. So by this, for instance, now you're actually working towards a goal in your office, have a picture of it. Or possibly maybe you write out your goals, you paste it every morning. Maybe your goal is to hit 100 million monthly, paste it on the wall. If possibly, write a check for it, paste it. So all of this will enter your subconscious mind. Do you understand? So you know that, okay, fine, you have a goal to meet. And if your mind can actually absorb it, definitely you're actually maintaining a good state of sales excellence. So the last one we are looking at is overcoming resistance. So encountering resistance is normal. To neutralize sales resistance, tell your prospect that you understand the issues behind their resistance. You can also counter resistance by referring prospects to your satisfied customers. Yes, testimonials, referrals, and recommendation. All of these works, they are strong weapon that you need to have in your sales arsenal. Yes, possibly maybe in your sites have your satisfied clients, their comments, their recommendation, have all of that. Possibly do, let your satisfied customers, let them do a recommendation for you. Let them do like a testimonial for you. Yes, if you can put it up whenever anybody comes to your office, or maybe during your sales presentation, you use all of this. All of this will help you to do what? To counter resistance, and you'll be able to maintain a good state of sales excellence. So use this guide that we just described and start your operations, use this guide to start operationalizing your sales excellence initiatives by maximizing your sales excellence input, that is the processes, the tools, the people, and the culture, and validating them with data performance, proficiency, and productivity metrics. You can not only achieve sales excellence, but sustain it over the long time. It is a continuous work, and you can achieve it and also sustain it over a long period of time. So what we're looking at next, okay, as my custom is, can I have okay, can we list can we talk about what we can actually do to maintain a state of sales excellence? Let's come back to the chat room and talk about things we can do to maintain state of sales excellence. All right, so let's come back to the chat room. Goal setting. Thank you, Theophilus. Thank you. Let's have more.
Please, what's the question? Mr. Shegun, what's the question?
Maintaining a state of sales excellence. What are the things that we are to do to maintain a state of sales excellence? Overcoming resistance, it begins from your mind. Overcoming, thank you, Doyisola, it begins in your mind. Sales impediment, Apansong, thank you. Set goals, Jeremiah, thank you. All right, sales impediment, Doyisola. All right, Kel, sales impediment, okay, thank you. This shows that we are following the class, and I'm excited. Doyisola, overcoming resistance, okay. All right, thank you. So let's continue with the class. Thank you so much. Thank you. All right, so, and we're looking at principles to creating a culture of sales excellence. And you could actually have the best strategy, but if the culture is not good, or maybe if you're actually operating a wrong culture, the culture is going to eat up the strategy. So we've seen this over and over. You could actually have the best strategy, but a wrong culture, we eat up. We have the strategy for lunch. Okay, so, and the principles to creating a culture of sales excellence. So number one, okay, because of our time, so expand your sales enablement use cases. Okay, fine. So why it matters? So sales enablement is responsible for enabling revenue teams to easily and effectively bring your product to market. So the first thing is to do was to expand your sales enablement use cases. So your sales enablement is responsible for enabling revenue team to easily and effectively bring your product to the market. Number one, they need to do what? Effectively bring your product to the market. Number two, invest wisely in new sales technology. So the right sales technology can win back valuable time, streamline processes, and deliver powerful analytics to inform your strategy. Our tech stack bloat is real concern. With so many options to choose from, And there are lots of technology whereby you could actually adopt. When you're talking about technology, it doesn't any technology that people does not easily understand is not a technology. Technology to be able to do it yourself thing. So, for instance, now setting up a payment platform. Do you get, after your call to action, or maybe as a call to action, setting up your payment platform? So it should be something that is very easy, a do-it-yourself, whereby your prospects or anybody could actually easily understand and make use of. So invest wisely in new sales technology. There are lots of them out there. So look for the one that is inclined with your kind of business, and invest in it. So at least it will aid your sales culture. So thirdly, commit to continuous sales training. This is very important. So ongoing sales training prepares reps with the knowledge of what to know. So say, show, and do for every customer conversation. So if there's a new development in your product or service, let your sales team be aware of it. So if there's a new product or that they are trying to actually introduce your customers, let your salespeople be aware of it. So your sales team must actually be ahead of their customers, because if your customer actually knows more than you in what you're trying to sell, so what's the sense of coming to sell? So you need to do what to commit to continuous sales training, not marketing training, or sales training, ongoing sales training. That are able to do what with the knowledge of what to do or what to say, what to show, and what to know for every customer conversation. All right, so build a supportive sales culture. Good sales culture enables reps to do great work and ensures their long-term loyalty. Begin by building a tight relationship with human resources. Yes, this function can provide additional support and resources as you implement culture initiative. So once your team are aligned, take measure of the current sales culture, because the point is build a supportive sales culture. So ideally, you have fostered a welcoming, learning all environment that enhances employee strength and helps them overcome weaknesses. Yes, survey, one-on-one conversation, and observation are effective way of checking your culture's pulse. Yes, don't just be particular about them going to sell. We did, they have needs, they have emotions. So connect with them. If possible, do survey, do questionnaire to know what they are going through. Yes, build a supportive sales culture, because if they know that, okay, fine, that if they're out there and when they come back, they can actually get support, from the company or maybe from the management. Definitely, they'll put in their best to the, to the sales, to the company sales. So you need to build a supportive sales culture. So in continuation, principle 5, the final stage of product development takes place at the point of sale. As most products and services we purchase are manufactured for the average customer, the great sales professionals spend considerable skill understanding the customer's requirements and then tailoring the product to accurately match the customer's needs. And there's this particular how do I put it? This particular scenario for children that a particular company was trying to improve on, and they now called all the nursing mothers. They actually called them into a particular room and they asked them question. This product, how does your child react to it after using it or after drinking or after taking it? So the parents, they were giving feedbacks. Do you understand? And all these feedbacks, the company has to take cognizance of it, because the final stage of the product development takes place at the point of sale. So as most products and services we purchase are manufactured for the average customer, the great sales professionals spend considerable skills understanding the customer's requirements, and then tailor the product accurately to match the customer's needs. So you find out what the customer will need, then you present your product to tailor what the customers need, or maybe you improve your product based on what your customers need, because the final stage of product development takes place at the point of sale. We need to understand this. So principle 6, in the culture of sales excellence, product development customer segmentation, pricing decision, packaging, and marketing are not the sole preserve of, or exactly of some head office department. No, it is not just made for the head office department. So in a culture of sales excellence, product development, customer segmentation, this is very important. Who are your customers? You need to target the bullseye. All right. I was in a training on Saturday, then we are trying to, let me just brief us. I was in a training on Saturday, so the real target were actually children, but the children from ages 0 to 12. But most of these children, they don't have gadget, they don't have cell phones, to connect to the internet. So they make use of their parents' gadgets. So the point is, who are we targeting? Is it that we are targeting the children that they don't have phones, or even though they have phones, they don't have internet on their phone, they still rely on their parents? So for every customer, you need to look for the man. When I say man, you need to look for the customer with the money, the customer with the authority, and the customer with the need. Are we getting it? So in every customer, you look for the man. When when you are doing your customer segmentation, you look for the customer with the man. That is the customer with the money, the customer with the authority, the customer with the need. So by this, you'll be able to target, the bullseye and get, your own customer. So pricing decision, your packaging, the marketing are not the sole preserve of some head office department. In a culture of sales excellence, sales professionals are encouraged and supported to actively influence the organizational decisions about what is best for the customer. Yes, because the salespeople are the one interfacing with the customer out there. So their feedback to the head office is something that should be considered. What do you mean by, okay, thank you, Apanson. What do you mean by customer segmentation? Customer segmentation is the process of identifying your customer. For instance, now we have, the general population. So fine. So we say that we have the qualified population. That is, those are actually qualified to use your product. Then we now have the niche. That is your niche. That is your own customer. So that is why I said your customer segmentation. For instance, now let me make use of a product that is very generic. For instance, now, whereby let's make use of, permit me to say MTN, for instance. Now, believe me, MTN has maybe priority customer. They have, the Gbogbo, that is the everybody. So there are times whereby when you call your maybe the call customer line, they pick it immediately. Why some people, they could actually pick in the next 1 hour. They'll be able to do what, to segment their customer. Even though everyone is actually customer, but they have the priority customer. So the same thing with the banks. So the bank still has, the high network individuals, whereby if you need more, you don't need to go to the bank. You call your account manager. The amount you need will be brought, they will bring it to your house. So they've been able to segment your customer. And look, and the interesting thing is, if you have 100% of your customer, you could actually be getting maybe like 80% of your revenue from 10% of your core customer. So if you are getting 80% of your revenue from 10% of your customer, that shows that you should do what, you should pay more attention to those customers that actually bring in 80% of your revenue. So by so doing, you'll be able to segment your customer. You have the high, maybe like the high profile customers, you have the low profile customer, you could actually have the medium profile customer. So that's the way of segmenting your customers. Have I been able to answer your question, Pansong? Let me have a yes if I've been able to answer. And if no, let me have a no. All right, okay. I'm waiting. So by doing that, you'll be able to, okay, yes, okay, thank you so much. Okay, fine. So you need to, and by doing so, we've seen a lot of times whereby the company is selling the same thing, the same product, different prices, the same product, different prices. How they been able to do that? Okay, fine. If you cannot afford maybe the 10,000 naira one, we have the one for 500 naira whereby you can still buy. So they've been able to segment it with different prices. Let's use our picnic, for instance, now. They've actually gone into the sachet, the sachet industry in Nigeria. So if you cannot buy the one for 250, there's one for 50 naira that you could actually buy. So the same products, different customer segmentation. All right, okay, with different prices, yes, and still the same product. All right, you as a business person should be able to segment your customers. All right, so principle 7, when the final stage of production goes unmanaged, the customer's experience it resists mediocrity. An effective sales organization must show evidence that it really does have something special to offer. This is especially true in industry where customers don't really see any important differences in the product or service they are buying, which is very bad. So when the final stage of production goes unmanaged, the customer's experience is reduced to mediocrity. So the final stage of production is what is is your salespeople interfacing with your customers. So they need to provide a unique experience to your customers so that they can buy your product from you. So and we can actually empty slogans such as our frontline people are really the ones who make us or break us, and that is true because they are the ones that actually do what the interface. They represent the content out there. They represent even the product itself. So catchphrases such as this creates an initial impression that the company is paying attention to the needs and interests of the sales professional who interact with your customers. So your salespeople, they are important, and you need to take them as such. Exactly. So, however, the real test is not in slogan, but in actual experience of the sales professional. Sales professionals often feel that, that their only purpose is to hit a revenue target, close more opportunities, sell XYZ too often. The sales professional feels threatened and pressured to hit quota, even though it is not the best interest of their customer, because they are just particular about meeting targets. We've seen a lot of times whereby a lot of people, they just want to sell, they just want to sell. So once the customer can sense that this person just want to sell, is not really concerned about maybe will I need this product, that is not good enough. So and you need to understand that the frontline people, they are the one that could actually make us or break us. So unless the shared value, norms, beliefs, and ideology of the organization, in other words, the organization culture clearly and consciously focused on serving the customer, there's virtually no chance that the organization will be able to deliver a consistent quality of service and develop a sustained reputation for sales excellence. There are your salespeople, they have to buy into your values, the organization's values. They need to memorize the vision. They need to memorize the mission, the core values, what the company stands for. When you wake them up, if you understand, they should be able to say it. They need to buy into it and work with it. There was this particular friend of mine that once worked together. The guy worked in one of these banks. So they called the team the Fallujah team. So this guy introduced this particular Fallujah spirit, in the team. So when the guy, the Fallujah team is you go out there and deliver. As in, they can go anywhere in Nigeria just to do what? Just to sell. Because the point is the training that they gave them, as in they gave them for months. So by the time that they released these guys, they were just going out, meeting customers' needs and selling. So you to allow your salespeople to buy into your values, your norms, your belief, your ideology, what it stands for as an organization, for you to be able to create a culture of sales excellence. All right. Okay, fine. So as my culture is, so let's list some of these principles of creating sales culture of excellence in an organization. Let's come to the chat room and let's list them. I've been able to list 9 principles and let's list them. The principles of creating excellent sales culture. I'm waiting. Let's list them. All right, invest wisely in new sales technology. Awesome, Akpanson, thank you for that. All right, so we have 8 more to go. I'm waiting. Are we still there? Okay, build a support culture, sales culture. Okay, Doyisola, okay, thank you. Be the supportive sales culture, Doyisola. Apanson, be the support sales culture. Okay, Bob says, I'm not clear on the principles. Okay, I would do that again. Commit to sales training. Commit to sales training, okay? Commit to sales training. All right, let me just reiterate again for Babs. So we're talking about principle. Principle are actually elements that guide something. So Doisala says expand your sales enablement use case. So the first thing is expand your sales enablement use case. So that is responsible for, your team, your sales team, they're actually responsible for enabling revenue teams to easily and effectively bring your product to market. So I said something that if you're targeting, if you're prospecting 10, know that at least maybe one person will buy from you. But if you expand it to like, oh no, definitely 10 could actually buy from you. If you expand it to like 5,000, definitely 500 could actually buy from you. So expand your sales enablement. So, and we talked about invest wisely in new sales technology. Yes, example that I made mention is payment platforms. There are a lot of payment platforms. There are loads of, or possibly maybe if you want to do demonstration now, maybe sales demonstration, there are apps, there are software whereby it can actually help you, to do all those kind of demonstrations. So commit to continuous sales training. That is, your team, they must be aware of any improvement in your product or your service so that they'll be able to converse with your customers. So you need to commit to continuous sales training. So be the supportive sales culture. Let your team know that while they are out there trying to sell, that they have the company backing them. Do you understand? So be the supportive sales culture. So right. So I need to understand what is the difference between sales impediment and overcoming sales resistance. Okay, fine, I'm coming. All right, so and the final stage of product development takes place at the point of sales. All right, so and permit me to, okay, come in. All right, so Akwansing is asking that what is the difference between sales impediment and overcoming resistance in sales? So let's go back to what sales impediment is. Sales impediment, we said that that there are two primary obstacles to making sales. That is, number one is the fear of failure, and the second one is the fear of rejection. In other words, fear. That's like our sales impediment. While overcoming resistance, we said encountering resistance is normal. To neutralize sales resistance and tell your prospect that you understand the issue behind their resistance. That is, they are, somebody to resist you. They don't want you. Do you understand? They don't want your product. Do you get it now? So, and that one is different from and maybe rejection. Do you understand? So now they don't want you. They resist you. Do you get? They could actually give you attention. They could actually, allow you to do your presentation. By the end of the day, they still don't want you. At the end of the day, they are still resistance. They don't want to, they don't want to buy from you. They don't want to get close to you. So what are you supposed to do then? Refer them to prospects. Rejection is somebody rejecting. What do you want to do? You want to do fine. You don't want to get out of here. Do you understand? Why you get out? Do you understand? So that one is rejection. So rejection should actually come very harsh. Do you get? But this particular one, they don't just want to get your product. Possibly maybe they have one that they are using, or possibly maybe they are using a competitor's own or thereabout. So what can you do to them? You can allow a satisfied customer to talk to them. You can refer them to a satisfied customer. You can you can let them see the testimonial of a satisfied customer. You can do referral. Do you understand? You can even do recommendations. Okay, fine, I'll do recommendations. So this particular time, you are just trying to get the customer. You are trying to get this prospect. You are trying to get close to this prospect. Even though the prospect is trying to do what, to resist, he doesn't want you to come close to his heart or maybe to his mind, but you're trying to do your best to just get this person, which is different from the fear of failure. That one is internal. Do you understand? The fear of failure, you have fear, and the fear of rejection, which is still internal. And there's a possibility whereby you actually meet a failure out there while trying to sell, but you're not supposed to allow that to weigh you down. Use it as a stepping stone to go. Rejection, you always face rejection if you're a salesperson. So you must be prepared. Okay, fine. I'm going out today. I'm expecting rejection, even though you know that you want to go and sell. Be at the back of your mind. Once you see rejection, don't take it personal. Move while trying to sell. Let me know if I've been able to make justice to that while we continue with the session. All right. The last one we're talking about on negotiation, I think it was specially requested for by one of the participants, and the most important skill for any salesperson is negotiation skill. This is the most important skill. If you don't know how to negotiate as a salesperson, you need to go and learn the skill. And it's part of what we'll be talking about. It's part of what we'll be looking at today. So there's no magic or mystery to negotiation or to what makes a master negotiator. No, there are 5 steps and practices that consistently work. The model presented here identifies 5 stages to any negotiation in a simplified framework that helps you to analyze, absorb, and apply the best negotiating practices, BNPS. So, and there's no magic, there's no, there's no magic to negotiating, there's no mystery for you to negotiate, and there's no master negotiator, but you just need to understand these 5 steps and this look at the practices that consistently work. So number one is what? The stage one, number one is what? Be prepared. Prepare. So identify potential value. Begin to understand interest. Develop fast base. So you need to be prepared. So how can you be prepared? Identify potential value. Okay, fine. Your unique selling proposition. Okay, fine. This is it. I begin to understand interest. Okay, fine. Everybody with different interests. So develop fact base. You are not just talking sake. What you're saying, you are backing it with facts. Do you understand? Okay, fine. We actually use this. We have the customer that's been able to use this. We have facts. So number 2, information exchange and validation. Discovering and creating value. Assess interest. Build rapport and trust during negotiation. So bargain. So create and distribute value. Address interest. It should be a win-win thing while negotiating. While you are trying to sell, the person you are trying to sell to is winning. While you are winning. The person that is paying is winning. The person that you are trying to add value to is winning. Everybody is winning. So address interest, make and manage concessions. So conclude, capture value, confirm interest have been met, thank them. Make it a win-win thing. Not just that. There are times whereby we enter more, or maybe you go to this big departmental store, and before you realize, because of their sales pipeline or thereabouts, you're applying to buy maybe 10,000 naira stuff. You've bought about 25,000 naira stuff, and you're using your card. By the time that you go, you realize that you overspent. Do you get? So capture value, confirm interest have been met, thank them. So execute. Expand value, addressing changing interest, strengthening relationship. Basically, negotiation has to do with mindset. That one is number 1. And then always look towards a win-win when trying to negotiate, and be prepared. Be prepared. Have quality information that you're trying to do. Be trust with those that you're trying to negotiate with, and information exchange and validation. Bargain, conclude, thank them. Make it a win-win while negotiating. And realize that as a salesperson, negotiation is one of the most important skills that you need to have. If you don't know how to negotiate, you could actually go out there thinking that you've been able to negotiate. By the time that you calculate your cost, you discover that you are not actually making any progress with the sales. So I think by this, and the key takeaway is why I will try to address 1 or 2 questions that you should take from this class is sales management. You should be able to understand sales management by now. Or you have been able to identify professional selling skills, and how to maintain a state of sales excellence. Yes, that all of this start from the mind. Then principles of creating a culture of sales excellence. Then stages of negotiation. And negotiation is the most important skill for any salesperson out there. All right, so let me take your questions. Let me take your questions while we wrap up this class. Okay, go ahead and ask your question. And I think I'm going to allow maybe one or two persons to speak. And if you want to speak, please can you use the raise hand button so I can unmute you to speak. All right, can we do that very fast? If you want to speak, just raise up your hand so I can allow you to speak. If you, okay, fine, okay, I think I have Cynthia, okay. Cynthia, I'm going to unmute you now, so, and Cynthia, unmute yourself and speak. Okay, go ahead, Cynthia, and speak.
Okay. Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you, Shegun, for a wonderful section.
Thank you.
And in my own opinion, I feel sales is about passion, right? If you have passion for something, you're going to excel at it, but not like you don't like what you're doing and you're going for trainings on how to sell. So I think you should add the parts where if you have a passion for it, you will sell better. Even if you teach me from A to Z and I don't like it or I don't enjoy doing it, I can't get better at it. So I think
Okay.
passion has a place to play, like excelling.
Your voice is breaking, but I think I got that. Hello, Cynthia.
Sorry, I'm done.
Okay, fine. Okay, thank you so much for that. Okay, Cynthia just added passion, yes, that that the salespeople, they have to be doing something that they are passionate about. Yes, and when we, because of our time, I didn't know we have time to discuss, the self-concept. We discovered that passion too is part of, what will actually help your self-esteem and form your self-concept. But thank you so much, Cynthia, for that. Passion will actually help you to go out there and sell and make results. Thank you for that. Okay, I'm going to unmute Babs now. Babs. Okay, Babs, go ahead and unmute yourself.
Good afternoon, Mr. Shegun.
Yeah, good afternoon.
I have a question to ask, more like a question, also not a question. Okay, so as a salesperson, is it wrong or does it show that you are, what's this one, that you're desperate when you frequently call your customers? Like you call them in the morning and probably you're checking up on them just to do a follow-up. Does it show that you are desperate? And is it wrong for a salesperson to do that?
Okay, and okay, I'm going to say that is not wrong, but mind you, it depends on what the conversation is all about. Are you trying to build relationship or are you still trying to sell?
Okay, so you've built a relationship over time, right?
Okay.
And now you want to sell to the person. You've told the person about what you guys do, what you're into. The person, okay, no problem. And you're just trying to do a follow-up. Or probably a customer tells you, okay, I want this particular offer. I like what you guys do. I want this one. And you're just trying to follow. The person says you're stalking me or you're sounding very desperate. And you hear people say for a salesperson, it's not good to be desperate.
Yeah.
Don't come cheap to a customer. So I'm a bit confused. What is that come cheap? Because I feel as a salesperson, follow-up should be a standard policy.
Definitely, sure, yes. The point is you won't give up. So far, you are presenting the value that the customer is going to get from the product or from the services. So you won't give up. You follow up. You build a relationship. You follow up with the customer. You present your unique selling proposition. What your product or your service is going to do. The benefit of it, the features of your product. You present it. So you just keep following up. And mind you, when you're following up on a customer and it is more than 6 months, the customer is no more a prospect. The person is no more a prospect. It has become a suspect. So you may not be spending much of your energy on such people. By the time that somebody wants to buy from you, you are following up. and you discover that this person is not responding. So if the person's interest is dropping and you're trying your best by presenting, the key features, the benefit, the value that the customer is going to get, but the customer doesn't really want to buy. So you, if you are calling like 10 times in a day before, but you've actually gotten to like your peak, do you understand? So you could actually be stepping it down bit by bit until the customer shows interest again, then you put in more effort. But it's not advisable for you to be putting in more effort on just one customer. So I have a lot of prospects. Do you understand? I have a lot of prospects, and why some are getting to the level of being suspect, you are getting new prospects. Are you getting it? So you don't just spend and waste all your energy and your resources on one person because you are waiting for that one person to buy in from you. So you need to understand the different, by moving somebody that is your priority prospect to a suspect, so you can focus your energy and your resources on other new prospects that could actually buy from you. But there's nothing wrong for you to call the customer morning, afternoon, night. So far, you're trying to present, the product to the person and the value that the person is going to get from it. All right, and any other question? Let me take one more question. Why I hand over to Gloria so that we can end this session.
Thank you so much, Mr. Banjo.
Okay, thank you.
Sorry, do we have any other question? If we have, we can actually indicate by raising up our hand or unmute your mic so that you can speak. Okay, or you can actually type on the chat box if you have a question.
Okay, I think in the absence of no other question, we can continue the conversation by contacting us. The phone number is there.
Yes,
and,
thank you so much.
The website is there also. So I hand it over to Gloria. Thank you.
No problem, sir. All right, thank you all for attending to this session. Be sure to send us. Sorry, did somebody say anything?
I had a question.
Okay, please, you can ask.
Sorry, my name is Sikak. Sorry, I want to ask, in the world of competitions about sales, every organization wants to sell their product. Everybody wants to sell their product. My question is, what can I do? What sets you apart from this competition to be an outstanding person?
Okay, and to answer your question, number one, what value are you trying to add to your customers? That's like the number one thing that actually separates you from other competitors. A lot of people may be selling and maybe like a phone, for instance, now. So, but you're coming out with your own phone. So the question is, what unique features does your phone have whereby every other competitors, they don't have? It could actually be, because you need to understand, if you're into food business, for instance, maybe restaurant business, you need to understand that food business is all, I'm just using that as an example, that food business is all about service. It's a service business. Do you understand? So you invest more in the service culture. That is, those that are actually serving. So you invest more in it so that people will say, oh, I love that place. The way they attended to me, I actually love it. Do you understand? So that makes your own restaurant unique. So we've actually seen a lot of filling station whereby you see the same filling station, the same name, still on the same street, and there will be a long queue in one filling station, and the other filling station there will be no customers. Why? It could actually be because of what? Their service culture. Maybe possibly they have actually gone to adjust their meter. But if your own 1 liter, for instance, is 1 liter, and you have good salespeople, whereby good attendants, whereby they could actually help you, they could actually sell with good culture. Do you understand? That makes your own product unique. So you need to sit down, identify what are you offering. Are you offering the same thing that other people are offering? So if you're offering the same thing that other people are offering, so what are you doing that is different from what they are doing? So this is your unique selling proposition. This is what you will leverage. This is what your salespeople are actually going out there to tell people that they do that other people don't. For instance, now there are some banks where maybe they give interest rate for like 23%, 27%, but you are giving for 5%. So that 5%, or with if your sales are actually going out, they are advertising that 5%. We are giving out our interest rate at 5%. Do you understand? That makes you different from what others are actually offering. So you need to sit down. What is my product? What makes my product unique from other competitors? Then highlight it. So this is what you would train your salespeople on. This is what your salespeople will go out and tell people. So by the time that they compare, maybe possibly with other competitors, they're able to see the reasons to buy from you.
Thank you very much, sir. Does any other person have something to say or question?
Hello?
Okay.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Sorry, my network took me off.
Hello?
Yes,
Hello,
we can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, please, we can hear you.
We can hear you.
Sorry, my own is like bleeding. Is it possible for we to get this training manual on our emails?
Yes, please. You will get the materials. It will be sent to your emails.
All right. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Sorry, does any other person have anything to say? Or
Yes, please. My network logged me out. There's a particular question I want to ask.
Okay.
So I want to ask, yes, you at what point do you get to stop? At what point do you get to stop calling or following up with a customer? At what point do you know you should stop, that this customer does not need your services?
All right. Okay. I think maybe just because you were actually logged out, I actually made mention of saying you should have your priority prospects.
Okay.
You have your priority prospects, and you get more prospects. Then why you are spending less resources and time on the old prospects. And if any prospect has gotten to 6 months, if you are pursuing any prospect for 6 months, that person is no more a prospect. The person has turned to a suspect. So don't spend any energy or resources on such again. Do you get help? So now list your priority prospects, then follow up on them. But if your prospect, you discover that while following up on them, you are getting new prospects, so that you are spending little resources and energy and time on these other prospects. So by the time that you are getting new prospects, you are spending little resources on that, or look on all those prospects. Do you understand? So
yes,
this will actually let you understand the time to leave all those prospects. For instance, now I did my Netflix, and I think something happened or there about. I actually did one, the multiple, what was it called, gadgets whereby you can actually share with others. But they've been sending me messages. But over time now, they're sending me messages once in a while, just to remind me. But when I first started, they were actually sending me messages almost every day. But over time, they are reducing it. That means, do you understand how it works? So, but they are still sending me messages, but they are not spending their time on me again. They are looking for the new people that just stopped, using their subscription, put more energy on them so that they could actually come back. Do you understand? But maybe those that you've contacted for the last 6 months, once in a while, still contact them. But mind you that you're not putting all your energy on them again. You are getting new ones. Why? Once in a while, you are actually, contacting those ones. But if you discover that they are showing interest again, you bring them up to priority prospect again. But after 6 months, just put them as suspect. Once in a while, you contact them. But within that 6 months, you can still contact them, do all of those, whatever. But don't spend all your energy on the resources on somebody that you know that this person might not likely buy from you. So you get new prospects. So if your prospect are actually 10 before, increase to 100. If they're 100 before, increase to 1,000. Do you understand? So why increasing if you are prioritizing them? These are actually my priority prospects. these guys are actually they are just my let's say my average prospect, or maybe my lower prospect. So you prioritize your prospect like that, and you'll be able to know, okay, fine, this is the time for me to contact this guy. This is the time for me to follow up on all these new, especially new prospects. You follow up your energy, your materials, your resources on the new prospects so that you can easily convert them. But if you are trying to convert and you discover that they are prolonging it, I will buy tomorrow, I will buy next week, there was a time that I think I was in Ibadan for an event, and then a friend of mine has this online store, and we actually came for an event. So it was trying to use the opportunity to sell one of the gadgets he was selling. Then it was this guy said that he was going to buy. So what happened? He got to, but I called the guy did not pick. So for something like that, you won't leave the guy now. He called the guy, the guy pick. I'm here, wait for me here. Till next day following, the guy was selling about it. At the end of the day, they met. But while the guy was doing the presentation, the demonstration, I think something wasn't working on the product. Do you get? So he had to, go back to Lagos and change the product and send it via other logistics company to deliver it. So the point I'm making is you need to know how to follow up on your prospect. If you know that this prospect is going to buy, call morning, afternoon, night, call. As in rush that prospect. At least what you're presenting is the value of what and the benefit the customer is going to get from your product and service. So by the time that you discover that the momentum is dwindling, the thing is going down, so you get more prospects while you are contacting these guys once in a while like that. So even though that maybe that were prospects 2 years ago, there's nothing stopping you from contacting them. If they showed interest again, you put them as priority prospects. But if not, you don't spend your energy and resources on such people, so that you look for new prospects and spend your energy and time and resources on them. Are you still
much,
there?
sir. Thank you very much.
Okay, you're welcome.
Okay, so at the point now we are about to end the session. So our next, we have another topic that's coming up.
The places.
That is coming up soon, and there is transformation and business idea into transforming business idea into reality, which is coming up on the 23rd of February 2021, and the time is 1 p.m. You can actually register now if you're interested, or you can actually tell someone that you feel will be interested in this. So thank you so much, sir. If you need to talk to any of us, you can actually contact us through p4pe.co or info@p4pe.co. We just want to say very big thank you to everyone. You can unmute and say thank you to Mr. Shegun Banjo. You can actually unmute.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much,
Mr. Shegun Banjo.
Yeah, thank you, everyone. Thank you too. Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Yeah, thank you. Bye-bye. Thank you. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you so much. Thank you.